fat, juicy, and wet. Ooh. Ah. I can't see the side of my face so hard. Hey besties! I'm in the mood to play, and I've had this vision for a makeup look on my noggin for a little bit now, and I feel like it's time for me to finally try and sit down and execute. You guys probably know her too, but I'm a huge fan of Microsoft on Instagram. I think her name is pronounced May Pang. This is her IG. I'm literally obsessed with her. Her makeup skills are just so inventive and unique, and I have been inspired by her like 1,012 times. So she's done a couple of looks that are like concealer on top of makeup, which kind of creates a really pretty pattern. I'll put some pictures of examples of what I'm talking about here. I don't think I'm gonna do exactly what she did in either of these pictures, but it serves as my inspiration for the look today. I was kind of envisioning like swirlies on my face. And so I like attempted with this, but this wasn't exactly giving what I wanted it to give. I'm like, hey, not a fan. But then I started doing this and I was like, oh wait, that's kind of sick. So I think we're gonna go something more so along this line than this line and all over my face. So I think it's gonna be like blush heavy with concealer over top to make it look cool. This is more preparation than I normally do for a video, so we're going in with kind of an idea of what's gonna happen, but truly who knows how this end result will turn out. So now's as good a time as any to just get started. I'm gonna need to pull my hair back for this one, because you'll be able to see the bright ass concealer in my dark hair. Will the glow likely get lost in the makeup look? Perhaps, but we're gonna add glow anyways. I also added moisturizer too to help with the whole blending process. I should probably take this off because I use the back of my hand like a palette, so squeaky clean-ish. And I think for base, I'm gonna keep it relatively simple. Just gonna start off with some bronzer. Ever since I started getting bangs, color will not pick up on the corners of my forehead. Like, look at this. Well, now of course it does it, but you can see that I'm putting product there and then it's blending away. Like, what is that? I don't think I'm gonna do a lot of like concealing under my eyes, but I do want to add some color corrector, and this will help create that even toned base. Added some foundation as well and blending out the contour. Okay, so I lied a little bit. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of concealer under my eyes, but this is a different concealer than the one I'll be using to create the designs, so hopefully it won't blend into each other. So now that we've got the base out of the way, the fun can kind of start to begin. I want to take all three of these cream blushes, rip this packaging. It's actually deteriorating, but I'm obsessed with these. I'm gonna take all three of these blush shades and I want to kind of create this like big blush blown out look where all of the colors kind of like melt together. And I think that'll make for a really fun and cool background for the makeup look like it is in this test example. So I think I'm gonna start off with this darkest shade kind of like right here and then blend this middle shade out kind of onto the lid and then like diffuse the edges with this color. Starting with this dark shade. So this is kind of where I'm focusing, that darkest shade. It kind of looks like a little like lima bean, a kidney bean on the side of my face. Lima bean. Now picking up the middle shade. And I'm not too worried about using a brand new brush because we're blending all of the colors together anyways. So I should put on eyeshadow primer. Although, kind of hot take, I have the Urban Decay Primer Potion Anti-Aging, and I don't feel like it holds on super tough. I don't know if it's the anti-aging one that like doesn't work as well, or if Primer Potion just isn't that girl when it comes to primer, but I just figured I would try her out again after years of not having tried her. I'm not really impressed, but might as well add a primer. The glow on my cheeks right now, it's given Fat, juicy, and wet. That Bruno Mars song took me off guard. Bruno, your last song was and then the next drop was
fat, juicy, and wet.
That's what we call the duality of man. Now blending out into this last shade, which I think almost registers as like kind of a contour shade. So I'm gonna bring that down here in particular, blend it out up here. I'm kind of loving how these are all blending into each other. And I can almost use that last shade as like a bronzer contour. And I'm really okay with like overdoing the color because the concealer is going to cover it all. So we want more contrast underneath to really help all the squiggles pop, make the design pop a little bit more, you know? It actually is like really not bad in person. I mean, it looks like an overload of blush for sure, but the cheeks are glowing. It's nicely blended. I'm not upset. I'm gonna use a sponge to really diffuse out any harsh edges. I literally feel like I look like a doll when the light hits the cheeks. I love it. Ooh. Ah. Okay, just to make sure this doesn't go anywhere and that the concealer that I put on top doesn't just start blending in with the blush colors, I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and some powder, knock off the excess, and just do a light dusting. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to make it difficult to put the concealer on top because it immediately dries with so much powder. But just a light little dusting won't hurt nobody. I'm almost like, did all the color get faded? I do feel like I want it to be brighter. Fat, juicy, and wet. I'm on the last little bit of this blush and it's like not available anymore. Oh, I'm so devastated. I just feel like I need to add some more powder blushes to keep the vibrancy alive. Yeah, more of that, please. So I added some dark pink colors to help bring out kind of the vibrancy of that dark shade again. And I'm living. Okay, I feel like we have the color contrast that we are looking for. So I think I'm gonna do brows now, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to start doing all of the line work, which, famous last words, shouldn't take too long, but might be a little tedious, but you know, the plan is just to like lock in and have fun. So let me do my brows, and then when we get back, I'll be ready to tackle it. If you've never had these Trader Joe's plantain chips, you gotta go try them. Every time I go to Central America, I get rehooked onto plantain chips. And are these as good? No. Are they good? Yeah. I could eat an entire bag of these in one sitting. They're so good. Okay, time to lock back in and start making the lines across my face. I'm just gonna like kind of pour a bunch of this concealer out. Just gonna put a dollop of Daisy on the back of my hand. If you can hear my neighbor, I'm so sorry. It's like they've got an instinct for when I start filming that they start just making a bunch of rackets, so nothing I can do. They're like dragging something. What are you dragging? I don't know. Anyways, taking my little concealer brush guy and my concealer, and I'm just gonna dip her in slightly. I don't want to fully like coat the brush because then there's gonna be a lot of excess wherever we place it, but I do want to make sure it's got enough product on it, both on the tips and a little bit on each side, just so it can create a nice crisp thick line. At least that's the intention, we'll see. I don't necessarily think that I need both sides to be symmetrical per se, but I do think I'm gonna start with some features to create kind of like some similarity, and then I can work off of those lines to create the rest of the pattern. I wanna start around my eye. How do I wanna do this? There's not a lot of margin for error with this look. Like if I mess something up, it's gonna be kind of hard to clean up. But I'm trying to make it feel really organic, so it doesn't need to be so crisp and straight and everything needs. She says as she gets concealer on her eyelid. No! That's certainly not where I wanted that to go. Actually, okay, that came off relatively easily. But like, do we see how jagged those lines are? Right, right. I just scraped all of the concealer that was on the back of my hand onto the bottom of my desk. Lovely. Now I have the eye shape, and I think I want to do some like cheekbone-esque shape. Again, I'm not trying to make it symmetrical, but just to have a similar shape down. It just makes it look like visually pleasing when there's some elements that are similar on both sides. So that's why I'm starting out with the bigger, more important lines, and then we can kind of go crazy from there. Good enough. It's so hard to see and do makeup on the side of your face. Because like my eye's over here and I'm trying to look right here. How am I supposed to see that? Okay, besties, so this is kind of our starting point. And I did decide to start kind of like making them different, just kind of amorphous. Is amorphous when it like is kind of fluid feeling? Like a morph? I don't even know what I'm making it look like, but this is our starting point. This one kind of curls around the jawline, this one comes up a little bit. So now I think because I have these anchors on my eyes and on my cheekbones, now I can kind of just start filling in other little lines as I please. And then I'm like, also, am I covering my whole face? What's the vibe? I do know I want to bring some up on the forehead, but am I like going all the way through the forehead? I don't know. And it's stressful. It's life or death. That was honestly a pretty solid line. The quicker you are with it, the better the line is gonna be. Like, these I wanted to be similar, so I had to take my time when I was doing it. But this one, I'm just kind of like flinging it all around, you know? Also, ones with big curves are gonna be hard because I have to like flip the brush. Let's like aim to do the hardest lines first, aka the ones on the side of my face, because I have a hard time seeing those. I also like adding dimension to the line too, so that some parts are thicker, some parts are thinner. I think it just kind of helps play into like the organic kind of flowy vibes of the look. I really don't know how else to describe it. I can't see the side of my face so hard. And like this mirror is too far away to see the details, but this one is too, I can't do it. I can't. I have to be cautious not to touch my face for stability now, because I'll wipe off concealer. Oh, I didn't think about that. Didn't think about that in the slightest. I feel like it's looking kind of cool, right? I don't like that at all. Why did I do that? I'm using like a tiny little brush that has, it's got bronzer on it, so that's probably not the best color. I'll use blush for this part to kind of blend out any areas that I've done incorrectly. I'm gonna add some more lines and then I'll come back and we can see how this progress is going. I really hate that thing that I added, but maybe it'll look fine later. Okay, I'm kind of digging the vibes. I'm liking the flow of things. I love these. So this is kind of what we got going on. Kind of fun. I still am unsure how much of my face I'm trying to cover, because there's a part of me that really likes how this is very bottom centric. Can you stop? There's a part of me that really likes how the focus on this side is down here and the focus this side is up here. So I don't know if I want to maintain that. Like, I still have a lot of lines that I want to add, but I don't know if I want to continue that as the focus. I guess we'll find out. I realize I'm not explaining my process much, but I'm really just working off of vibes, and I never said this was a tutorial. So if you were hoping to recreate this for your next big night out, you'll just have to watch to learn. I'm so sorry I'm not giving you all the details. But I'm just out here painting, you know? Like, I'm literally just a girl. Not loving how that one turned out. I wonder how long it takes May Pang to do this. I think I hate that. I just go in and make more lines and lines and lines and lines and lines. I fear that this is not entertaining because I haven't been talking for most of the time. Now, I may regret this, but I kind of want to add, like, to my nose and under my eye. So we're gonna try it. I'm really not taking too much product on my brush with this because it'll be hard to fix if I mess up. That's kind of cool. Will I be able to replicate it? Kind of a two-pronged nose vibe. Or do I just keep it on the one side? I don't know. I kind of like it on just one side. But am I loco crazy? Okay, so I've decided that I'm not going to add any more lines, but I think I'm going to go over a few of the lines just to make sure there's not like streaks in it or anything. And then I'm going to go in and powder my face down so that the concealer stays in its spot. And then I'm going to do like mascara on my lashes. I'll do a lippy. I'm trying to decide if I want to add some like shadows. I'm trying to decide if I want to add some shadows to like the inside of the rounded parts just to make it look like it's kind of popping off the skin. But I haven't decided fully yet. So we're going to take it one step at a time and do some additional layers of concealer to make sure everything's nice and opaque, and then we will move on. Okay, let's powder. Patting it on. I think I want to take like a light cream shade and go over all of the lines again to help them stand out. So I'm going to take Modern Renaissance Tempera on a little pencil brush. The way my arm is just like absolutely covered, I do feel like this is adding some brightness back to the concealer. This is kind of reminding me of a Halloween look that I did a couple of years ago. It's on my Instagram, I'll link it down below. But it was kind of like a Freddy Krueger alien skull. I literally don't know how to describe it, but I feel like I did a lot of the same things. Just like retracing the same paths on my face over and over. I think I'm gonna use this Violet Voss shade in blush just to add a tiny bit of dimension. Okay, so now I think I'm ready to just chuck on some mascara and then some lips, and then we can call it a day. I do think that the vibe is kind of fun and kind of cool. I like it more in person than I do on camera, so I don't know if it's translating for you, but I hope it is. I'm using the Better Than Sex mascara. If you don't already know this, I do mascara reviews over on my Instagram. I've got a whole highlight of them. Mostly Benefit, some Too Faced, but I'm also looking for recommendations of other mascaras to try. I'm on the hunt for my perfect one. Right now, my highest scoring is Benefit's Bad Gal Bang, but I'm always looking for a mascara that can edge out the competition. I love a lengthening and volumizing and long-lasting mascara. So if you have one that you really like, please do let me know. What lip liner do I want? What lip liner do I want? I think my ideal shade in this scenario is Max Soar. Look how teeny tiny this little fella is. I've had him for a while, but I just feel like it would smack right now. I think that was the right call. And then I'm going to take the blush, this like middle one. Cool. Okay. So I think that this is the final look, you guys. I think adding mascara and lip is never gonna do you dirty. It just really completes a look. I got up close and personal so you can see all of the little concealer swirls and twirls. Apologies if this video was a little bit low energy. I feel like I was really like zoned in. I wasn't in a big yapper mindset today. It's been a while since I've had a chance to like sit down and just let my creative brain run wild. And so literally being able to draw lines all over my face today was just so therapeutic. So I'm really glad that I was able to do this. And I'm even more glad that you decided to hang out with me today. If you want to get a weekly dose of your Beauty Bestie Sab, then make sure to subscribe because I post new videos every Thursday and I want you to hang out with me. You can also find me at Beauty Bestie Sab on all the other platforms, and make sure you hit the bell notification button so you can be notified every time I post a brand new video. You're amazing, you're beautiful, and I literally love you so, so much. Bye!